Hi guys, this is Vidas. Welcome to another tutorial. Training is called how to improvise canons or create on the sheet of paper as a composition and exercise. It was requested by my good friend Rien Skalkwijk. Visit his YouTube channel, of course, and hope you will enjoy it. In the chat today is Dawn. Hello, 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 and somebody else probably. So. Join me. That would be very interesting to do. Excellent. So let's take a look at the registration sample set. We are at Sancta Maria Magdalena, Goch, Pfarrkirche, third organ from 2015. We won't need any pedals, just perhaps a monitor, maybe an octave, and maybe a diapason with the flute pressed on. Like this, maybe. Yeah, something like that. Just to keep things clean and clear. Okay. Now, what is a canon? Yeah, first of all, canon is a very exciting compositional device which has been used for centuries in polyphonic music. This is a polyphonic device where one melody imitates another, exactly, or with some alterations. And it could contain several voices, 3, 4, 5. Even we know canons as with as many as 64 voices, right? From Renaissance and early Renaissance and late Gothic style, early Renaissance, I would say. Yeah, Johannes Ockham comes to mind. Ite missa est, or Deo gratias, I think 36 voice canon, maybe that's what it is. Today, of course, we won't do anything very dynamic and advanced. I want you to give a strong foundation so that you would understand what it is and how you can get better at playing two-part canons with one voice in one hand and another in another hand, and that the main melody is has a Latin term, dux, and dux like a duke, right? Dux, and it's probably best translated as the leader. And of course, there will be a follower, comes. It's called comes. Dux and comes, leader and follower. In the melody which starts earlier is dux, and the melody which starts later is comes, leader and follower. Okay. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to ask me in the live chat. Definitely, will be, of course, very excited, everyone here on the live chat, to read your thoughts. Okay, and there are different types of canons at different intervals, canons at different distances, right? Two main parameters we have to decide: at which interval we have to imitate the main melodies, the dux, and how long the delay will be, right? And the third parameter is actually also important, whether it will be a direct canon or inverted or retrograde. A retrograde is when you start from the last note, so you have to compose it in your mind or on the sheet of paper and then play the follower, the comes melody, the second melody from the last note, which is very, very mentally tricky task. and then there is inverted canon, inversion, like a mirror. Yeah, you simply invert intervals. If you play a major third up, you have to play a major third down in the second voice, and vice versa. What else? Oh, there are canons in diminution and augmentation. For example, when the second melody enters with reduced rhythmical values, twice as fast, or twice as slow, augmentation. Yeah. So if it's with augmentation, then it uses only half of the follow of the dux melody in comes in the second voice. If it's a canon in diminution, then it uses twice as much material. It goes much faster. Okay, so that's just the theory behind it. But today will be very simple exercises series. We will start with C major, and we will decide at which interval, okay, we have to use the follower, right, in order to do a canon. At which interval? There are intervals typically, historically, and traditionally very popular at the interval of the octave and at the interval of the fifth. There are various others, canons, like of any other interval that we have. For example, Johann Sebastian Bach, remember, he wrote canonic variations, right, on the Vom Himmel hoch, da komme ich her, Christmas tune. And there are a series of variations with various degrees of complexities and various intervals too. So that's very interesting to observe. But of course, the main interval is an octave, and the second main popular way is a fifth. Okay, today obviously we will do with the octave, because a fifth is a little more advanced, but not too much advanced. And we will only we will only do two voices. You could do a third voice, which is a free voice, additional third voice, like in the pedals, right, to create a trio. But the third voice wouldn't be a canonic voice. That's perfectly fine. But to keep it simple, we just use our hands, just two voices, right and left. No pedals involved so far, but you have to know that additional voices might appear later. Third voice, fourth voice, to complete, to have a complete harmony, basically. Okay, so just let's take a look at the keyboards first. Remember, probably, what's the most famous canon that you know? The most famous canon that every child knows is Brother Jacques, right? Like this. Right? How many voices does it have? 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's a 4-voice canon, but you could do it as simple as 2-voice canon, like this. You see? Obviously, we could have a third voice. Let's see if we can play with pedals a little bit for you, just for fun. A little bit of registration, like this. So maybe start. Maybe I'll start with the right hand. It's a little more advanced with 3 voices, just for fun. Obviously, we don't need a third voice right now, but it's a good example of the canon that everyone knows. It's at the interval of an octave, or it could be at the unison too. Like this, right? Okay. Oh, okay. What's happening is Rian joined in the live chat. Hello, hello, hello. But he can't be with us live because his youngest son celebrates 14. So happy birthday, Roderick. And let's send him greetings. Rin, of course, will watch it later. Yeah, so let's keep it very simple. At the interval of an octave or a unison. Unison is more difficult, I would say, because voice crossings. Yeah, so definitely a little more advanced. I would think that the distance of the octave is more possible to do, right? So let's do it like I'm playing right now. If you're practicing with me, play with me together. Or let's start on the upper manual. Like this. And of course, to have the complete exercise, we have to switch voices. We have to switch with the lowest voice first. Start with the lower voice first, like this. With the left hand. And then an octave higher. A different feeling. I will tell about the beat, about the rhythm. Just a second. So Don asks, which beat does it start with or in? The beat, if we think about the beat, we have to understand the meter first. What is the meter of this tune? Can somebody tell me? The meter obviously is either 2/4 or 4/4, common meter. So I will keep counting and you can decide. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the third measure, after 2 measures, the second voice, the follower comes in, right? The leader comes right at the start and the follower comes in after 2 measures. Does it make sense? Or in Latin, the dux comes first and the comes comes in after 2 measures. Yeah, on the downbeat, Okay. So let's do it again. Starting with the right hand first. Second measure. Prepare the left hand and now enter. Okay. And then the last fragment, right? And now let's switch hands, starting with the left hand first. Mentally think that the lower voice is the leader. Good. It doesn't have to be easy. It doesn't have to be fluent. You just rewind this video after it's done and keep practicing this fragment a few times, and you will get it eventually. What's important is now to talk a little bit about invertible counterpoint, because in the first version, when I started with the right hand part, let's look at the keyboard, or on the second manual. What's the opening interval? C in the left hand, E on the right hand. That's a third plus an octave. So basically it's a third. It's a third plus an octave, or a 12. We could think of a 12 too. And what happens when we switch hands? Left hand first. The first interval is the 6. So what happens when we switch voices? A third becomes a 6. How do we know that? Because it's invertible counterpoint at the interval of an octave. So if we make a mental picture, writing from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. These are intervals, right? Unisons, a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and an octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we do the opposite, but start on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the last number is 8 in the second voice, but the first is 1, right? 1 becomes octave, 2 becomes seventh, 3 becomes a third, 4 becomes a fifth, 5th becomes a fourth, 6 becomes a third, 7th becomes a second, and octave becomes a unison. Yeah, does it make sense? Okay, we are in C major, of course. I didn't say that before, so it's very, very simple. Very simple. Maybe not easy if you haven't done this before. But if this is the first canon that you have ever played in your life, I get it. It's not easy. I remember my first tries at Canon, right, at Lithuanian Music Academy when I was a freshman, I think. Our improvisation teacher was famous Lithuanian composer Teisutis Makačinas, and he made us play canons. For me, it was easier because I spent already 2-3 years before studying organ, playing on the pedals. But some other classmates of ours, they didn't have any organ background before, so they had to also learn the pedal technique right at the beginning and play canons. It was very, very frustrating for them. But somehow, you know, you survive if you like it enough. So yeah, it's difficult at first, but you don't have to play it fast. You have to just mentally do it, or better yet, you can do it on paper, like a composition exercise, Write treble clef, bass clef, and write what I'm playing for you, right? I don't want to do it right here because I'm teaching you to do it in practice, not in theory. Yeah, most of us will transfer these skills on the keyboard and not on paper. Very, very few people will create canons for others to play. Most of us want to play ourselves. That's what improvisation is all about. So therefore, it's very, very important skill for you to master this. And if you can't remember this little tune, don't worry. You just have to memorize it first. Yeah, like this. Let me play it for you. Okay, that's the main melody that we're after. And this melody could be placed in the right hand part or in the left hand part as the leader, and the follower could be vice versa, inverted, right? Invertible counterpoint. And if you look at the keyboard again, I will play. Why does it sound nice? Right? Not every melody that is written, not every tune, not every chorale, not every hymn, not every chant, tune, not every folk song, not every pop song has the capacity to become a canon material. Not every tune has the right intervals in it, right? So let's look at what intervals are used when we're playing this two-part canon, and you will actually understand why does it sound so sweet and powerful. So third, 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 fifth, third, 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 fifth, third, octave, sixth, fourth, third, octave. This is not an octave, but it's non-chordal note. This is the main note, F, octave, sixth, fourth, fourth, unison, sixth, octave, third, fourth, unison, sixth, octave. And then you could start from scratch, from beginning. Octave, 5, third, octave, octave, 5, third, octave. And it goes round and round. Could play with C. Let's do C in the pedals. Can you see, look at the pedals? I'm playing C, right? And this way you could see everything like a drone. Okay. Firstly, we talked about what kind of intervals are being used in this tune, right? Between two voices. But now let's think about scale degrees in C major. Scale degrees in C major. Let me take this view. So scale degree, third, 1, on the stronger beats, 1 and 3, right? Which scale degrees we have? 1, 3, 1, 3, 3, 5, 3, 5, 5, 5, 3, 5, 3, 1, 1, 1. You see what happens here? Every other beat 1 and 3 emphasizes beats 1, 3, or 5. That's the notes of C major chord. That's the reason it all sounds nice. You see? You have to think strategically, because after this canon, you can start creating your own canons if you like, but only if you understand that in order to create good harmony, we have to let the tune to produce nice intervals, right? And it can happen when we use correct scale degrees for that particular chord, for C major chord. The question is, can a tune go on to some other chord like F major? Sure it can, or G major. Sometimes it can go to from C to G, from G to C, and vice versa. But these are different intervals, not in this particular case. Especially if it's a four-part canon. Four-part canon. Remember, it's not just two voices, but all four voices have to work together, and therefore they have to emphasize the notes of the traditional C major chord. Right? So I think we have good exercise for you at home for this week. Okay, play this canon in two voices for entire week. Start with the right hand part and then follow with the left hand part at the distance of the octave after two measures. I think it could be at the distance of one measure also, if we think in 2/4 meter also, in faster note values, not 1 2 3 4, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and so the moving rhythm values could be written out as 8 notes. Then the second voice enters after the first measure, not after the second measure. But it's all relative. You can write it out very slowly, slower note values or faster note values. I suggest faster note values are more difficult for you, so you would do it at a distance of 2 measures if you're struggling with this, and start with quarter notes, not 8 notes. Does it make sense? I hope it does. Let me know. Yeah, so homework for today for this week is simply playing this 2-part exercise with invertible counterpoint, starting with the right hand part or with the left hand part. But that's not all. With the same tune, what if we transposed it into A minor, made it into A minor, like this? Like this. Okay, left hand, also practice hands separately, definitely, like this. Same scale degrees as in C major, but we are now in A minor. No accidentals. No G sharp, because there is no dominant chord. So let's do it. Let me demonstrate. Okay. Was it difficult? Maybe, but only because it's all new to you. If you know C major melody, You could do it in A minor melody also. But now let's invert voices. Let's start with the left hand first. Like this. So practice it as well in A minor. Two versions, starting with the right hand part and then doing it with the left hand part. And then doing a canon first with the right hand part as a leader and the left hand as a follower, or the left hand as a leader and right hand as the follower. Okay? So that's your homework for this week. C major and A minor canons on Brother Jacques. That would be a wonderful stepping stone to what I'm about to teach next for you. But that will be a week afterwards. In a week we could start. Let's do a little series, okay? A few weeks in this. Let me know, because next week we could do another tune that is written out for you, as previously written out canon. Or if it's easy for you, we could start creating your own canons. But maybe let's not rush. I predict that you will be pretty busy with these two keys during this week. So next week would be a good idea to do a different canon, but which would be written out previously, like an exercise or even a well-known tune. Actually, I know one right from the memory, but I'm not revealing it. Actually, Oshra reminded me today before the class, so we both know it. So stay tuned for next week. I think we will continue it with part 2 and a second melody for you, okay? And then after that, on week 3, we will play the canons ourselves, all right? Very exciting. 3 or even 4-part series, that could be very exciting. Month, yeah, that could be even exciting. All right. Thank you so much, Dawn, Rien, for joining. Everyone else who is watching it live, enjoy the replay, because you will need it for practicing these exercises in C major and A minor. And now with Dawn, we go to Secrets of Organ Playing Total Organist Community. We have page 3 of the third part of Trio Sonata number 1, the E flat major, third movement. We have to finish in the next 2 weeks this Trio Sonata. Very exciting. Remember the fast movement of J.S. Bach Trio Sonata. Trio Sonata training. So if you are into Trio Sonatas, you would enjoy our Total Organist community right now, because these are live trainings that we do right after this tutorial with you guys is finished. So stay tuned for next week. And next week I will play on the bench with Vidas with some tunes for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is on Thursday, but on Friday we will do some Thanksgiving themed live stream too. Okay, thank you so much, and stay healthy, stay tuned, and remember, when you practice, miracles happen.